Okay, so I'm working on the dashboard for the 29 Tudor. Instead of using the stock dash, which is also the gas tank, I'm going to use the dash out of a 1930 Chevrolet. I've got it right here. I'm going to show it to you, and then I'm going to show you why I'm using this instead of the original dash. So this is the dash out of the 1930 Chevrolet, and as you can see, it has no gauges. There's where the steering column mounted, and there's where all the gauges mounted. And right here is the headlight switch. I'm going to take that out, and I'm planning to cut all of this area out and put in a different instrument cluster because I think this is just too plain looking. Check this out. Side note, always use eye protection when you're making sparks, and if you're making YouTube videos, make lots of sparks. People like sparks. Here's the original dash in a 29 Model A. You can't tell, but that big hole in the middle is where the gas gauge went. It was literally just a float with a gauge stuck on there so you could see the fuel level. If this thing ever cracked, it started leaking gas into the floorboard. So you can't drill any holes, you can't add any gauges, you can't really modify it much because if you drill a hole in there, let's say to install a radio or a screw or anything, then all the gas runs out. And being that this is a 90-year-old gas tank, I just don't think I want to try to use it. So that's why I'm using the Chevrolet dash. I can modify it any way I want. So I have the dash just sitting in here right now so you can see what it looks like. Fits into a 29 Ford perfectly. Check this out. It almost looks like it was built this way. Even the rust is the same. Okay, here's the Chevrolet dash, and as you can see, I got all the stuff out of it. There's just one hole right here. It looks like a rust hole where some moisture sat behind the headlight switch back here and rusted through, but that's okay because all this is going to get cut out and replaced with something else. Here's a 1934 Dodge instrument cluster that I'm considering using. It looks pretty good. I took the glass out, cleaned up all the gauges. The only thing I may reconsider on this is that it only has one temp gauge, and I'm considering using something else just so I can put a dual temp gauge in there. The flathead Ford has two different cooling systems, so I may just opt to use a different cluster that allows me to use a dual temp gauge so that I can put one on each side of the engine. Not positive. I may go with a 1931 Buick cluster that looks like this, because I can put a wood veneer behind it and then fill this area in here also with a wood veneer. I just might do that. And then paint this and this to match the outside of the car with wood in the inset. Tell me what you think in the comments. As always, like and subscribe and all that. Here's some interesting stuff. Dick Moore was a car dealer in Memphis in the 50s and 60s. He was my grandfather. Here's the usual stickers on the toolbox. If you have stickers from your channel that you want to send me a message and I'll get that put on here. Go USA. As always, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Thanks.